Buenos dias. Happy Mindful Monday. Hey, y'all. Peace, peace. Hope you're well. Let's get into it. So, boom. Today's quote is stop expecting microwave results when your life is a slow cooker. Stop expecting microwave results when your life is a slow cooker. Let that sit. I got a quick story time for y'all. Y'all know I'm long-winded, so I'm going to try to make it quick. We might need to break it up, but so we all know Volume 2 is officially out. And I had to really end up having a conference call with myself. And I'm going to let you know why. So when Volume 1 came out, a little backstory, it hit the top 10 rankings pretty quickly, and it kind of shocked me, but I loved it. So when Volume 2 came out, me being a human first, more than anything, naturally there was a hint of expectation there, just a hint. And, I did the soft launch and things like that, and it went great. Thank you. I love y'all. Shout out to my community. And then we did the public launch recently. And when I tell y'all that anxiety and that fear really showed its head, and I allowed it into my vicinity to the point where it had me refreshing them rankings. And not only was I refreshing, I was watching the rankings dip and dip and dip, and just fueling that anxiety, fueling that fear, just really giving it all it's got. And then I got to a point where when the rankings finally dipped low into the 3,000s, I think by the time it got to like 3,596, yes, 3,596, I said that's how deep in I was. Because, when it comes to the physiology of faith and fear, when fear is activated, it contracts our focus. It makes us more hyper-focused. It contracts our opportunities. It contracts everything that's truly available to us. And our faith, it activates the opposite physiology, where it expands our focus. It expands our opportunity. It expands our awareness of what's available to us. So my faith was completely dismissed at that time because, like I said, I was into that fear and that anxiety, just letting it go. So then I finally, once I got to that number, I recognized and I needed to have a conference call. And I said, self, y'all know that quote, if you're going to pray about it, don't worry. And if you're going to worry, don't pray. So that came up for me. And I was like, you know what? This is definitely an opportunity to surrender. Like, I got to really lean into when God says he's going to do something, he's going to do it. And when he said he was going to align me with who's going to be for me, I trust that. I believe that. And trust is a big component with faith. So I leaned into my faith. I said, okay, I'm going to let go and let God. I surrendered it. I stopped checking. I didn't even want to talk about it. I just really let it go. I'm like, it is what it is. God got it. I ended up having a conversation with somebody a couple of days after that. The rankings got brought up. Boom. Come to find out, we back in the hundreds. I'm like, okay, cool. I let it go again. I'm like, I'm not going to focus on that. Because I'm in this period of waiting. I know right now I'm in the season where, patience is a big fruit of the spirit for me that is being cultivated. So what are you doing in this waiting? Are you just waiting? Staring at the slow cooker, smelling all the aromas, hoping that it's cooking right, even though you could smell all the aromas and see that you put everything in the ingredients properly? Y'all caught that? Or are you going to go ahead, you got the timing right, so you're going to go do something else? Because what are you doing in the waiting? So I decided to go do something else. And in my doing something else, when I finally was able to return to a space where I could get back engaged in my phone, I see a message from my publisher who sends me a screenshot that we're now in the top 50 at number 38. And I say that not to highlight the rankings, but to really highlight the testimony of faith over fear. You know, again, I talk a lot about this in volume 2. And I say that testimony to really highlight sometimes, because the question comes up, am I coping or bypassing, and how do I know the difference? And that's, you know, a moment of me recognizing the difference in myself when I'm going into a phase of bypassing, getting into that phase of fear, anxiety, allowing that to take over. I'm not being present. I'm not being aware of what opportunities are truly available to me in this moment. And stepping into true coping, true healing, truly living a life that's worth living. So I hope that blessed you today. It definitely blessed me. Thank you to my brother EJ, who also sent me a little voice memo that helped inspire this. Love y'all. Hope y'all have a wonderful, blessed day. Peace, peace. Happy Mindful Monday.